This is the biggest, strangest mystery in all the universe at the present time.
Wow.
These are called fast radio bursts. They are explosions in space.
Voyager 1, a spacecraft launched in 1977 to explore the outer planets of our solar system, has continued to fascinate scientists and the public alike for decades. Long after completing its initial mission, it ventured beyond the heliosphere into interstellar space, sending back data that has expanded our understanding of the universe. For years, its transmissions have mostly consisted of background radiation, particle data, and sporadic electromagnetic signals from the void. But recently, Voyager 1 transmitted a mysterious and highly unusual image. When advanced AI systems were tasked with analyzing the signal and reconstructing the embedded image, what emerged startled even the most seasoned astrophysicists. Among those who weighed in was renowned theoretical physicist Michio Kaku, who spoke at length about the implications of this unprecedented discovery. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The image itself was cryptic, featuring a symmetrical pattern not known to originate from any natural astrophysical phenomenon. The AI processed the data using deep learning algorithms trained on known celestial and artificial signal patterns. What it revealed was an eerie, structured design, something that resembled geometric intent. Unlike the random scatter typical of cosmic noise, the structure displayed intricate alignments and fractal repetitions, suggestive of design. The Voyager's systems, rudimentary by today's standards, lacked the capacity to interpret such data. But once AI filtered the signal and reconstructed it visually, the implications became deeply unsettling. The immediate reaction from researchers at NASA and the Jet Propulsion Laboratory was disbelief. Nothing in Voyager's mission parameters had ever indicated a capacity for image capture in this manner, particularly not beyond the solar system. Yet here was a transmission encoding a pattern far too precise, far too intentional to dismiss as a glitch or a cosmic coincidence. Michio Kaku, never one to indulge in sensationalism, reviewed the data and weighed the possibility that Voyager had inadvertently become a medium through which something, or someone, was attempting communication. According to Kaku, the image hinted at an intelligence not only aware of Voyager, but possibly capable of interacting with it across the vast expanse of interstellar space. The geometry was the first clue, a series of overlapping Fibonacci spirals forming a circular lattice, surrounding what could only be described as a symbol resembling an eye. Not a human eye per se, but a symbolic representation that carried the universal hallmarks of observation and awareness. The image was static, not animated, and yet it seemed to pulse with implication. The idea that such a transmission could originate from an intelligent source was not only chilling, it suggested a presence that had been observing, possibly even manipulating interstellar objects. If Voyager had picked up or been intercepted by such a force, it raised urgent questions about the nature of the intelligence. Was it biological, synthetic? Had it originated in our galaxy, or from an even more distant point in space? The AI that revealed the image had only drawn from Voyager's returning data, meaning the signal had come from outside and was not a result of onboard systems. The timing of the image's appearance was equally peculiar. Voyager's aging systems had been showing signs of degradation, with sporadic failures and irregular signal bursts. For weeks, engineers believed the spacecraft was on the verge of going dark permanently. Then, without warning, it transmitted a surge of data. When decrypted, this data stream contained the encoded pattern. It wasn't just random electromagnetic noise. It had a deliberate beginning and end, almost like a message framed within the context of Voyager's standard data packets. Scientists across the globe were faced with a dilemma. If this was a message, what was its purpose? Was it a greeting, a warning, a simple observation, or something beyond human comprehension? The AI that reconstructed the image did not interpret its meaning. It only revealed its form. Kaku pointed out that civilizations millions of years ahead of us might use methods of communication that bypass language and instead operate through universally understood symbols, mathematics, geometry, and light. The very fact that the message used geometry was a profound clue. Geometry, unlike language or culture, is not subjective. A triangle is a triangle whether it is viewed on Earth or across the universe. Using the golden ratio and recursive spirals implied that the sender understood fundamental constants that shape all natural life and structure. Kaku theorized that any civilization capable of engineering such a message across the interstellar void must be operating at what is known in theoretical physics as at least a Type II civilization on the Kardashev scale, one capable of harnessing the full energy of its star. The philosophical ramifications were as significant as the scientific ones. Humanity has long grappled with the question of whether we are alone in the universe. The Fermi paradox challenges the apparent contradiction between the high probability of extraterrestrial life and the lack of evidence or contact. But now, Voyager, a relic of human ambition and exploration, might have stumbled upon not only evidence, but a direct interaction. Not a voice or a signal in the traditional sense, but an image sent back across light years, possibly as an acknowledgement. And if acknowledgement was the intention, then what had Voyager passed through? Had it entered a region of space monitored by another intelligence? Was it detected the moment it crossed a threshold unknown to us? Or perhaps it had always been within a monitored corridor of space, and the decision to respond was triggered by something we do not yet understand. Michio Kaku emphasized the gravity of such a possibility, suggesting that we must now reconsider how we view space, not as a void, but potentially as an observed domain. What added further weight to this theory was the consistency of the pattern with other anomalous signals detected in deep space over the years. Fast radio bursts, FRBs, for instance, have baffled scientists with their high-energy, millisecond-long emissions. While most are explained as natural astrophysical phenomena, a small subset exhibit repeating patterns and unnatural regularity. The resemblance between these bursts and the frequency modulation that carried Voyager's image was enough to reignite debates within the SETI community. While Voyager itself cannot capture images like modern telescopes or probes, the encoded pattern bypassed traditional imaging entirely. Instead, it was constructed through modulated data that, when run through AI-enhanced Fourier transformations, revealed structured visual geometry. The sophistication of the method implies that the sender not only knew of Voyager's hardware limitations, but also anticipated how we might one day process such a signal. The potential implications stretch far beyond the realm of astrophysics. If Voyager has indeed become a receiver or relay for alien data, it redefines humanity's place in the cosmos. The image's intentional design indicates not merely surveillance, but perhaps a form of scientific curiosity from the other side. If Earth sent Voyager as a bottle into the cosmic ocean, then what it has brought back is a message in kind. A response, perhaps, or at least a gesture. One cannot overlook the symbolic weight of this happening with Voyager 1. Launched before most of today's technological advances, powered by fading nuclear batteries, it was never meant to last this long, much less to become a node in some unfathomable exchange. And yet, it has outlived many of its designers and remains operational, albeit barely, transmitting a signal that may now be regarded as the most profound transmission in human history. Michio Kaku elaborated on what might come next, though without venturing into speculation beyond the image itself. If this is contact, it's not in a form we expected. It's not a radio broadcast or a flying saucer. It's data. Pure, silent, elegant data that unfolds a visual form only when passed through the intelligence of another machine. It speaks not in words, but in universals: pattern, proportion, and symmetry. No one knows what the full image might mean. For now, it remains an enigma, a still frame whose silence speaks volumes. But its implications are clear. The message, if it is one, was never meant for emotion or drama. It wasn't designed to scare or comfort, it was simply sent. And that act alone has changed the narrative of humanity's exploration of space. Even within the scientific community, normally grounded in cautious skepticism, there is a newfound urgency to reevaluate the capabilities of other long-range probes. What other instruments might be receiving data we're not yet capable of interpreting? What if the cosmos has been speaking in a language we've only just begun to decode? Kaku urged the expansion of AI tools within the fields of astrophysics and cosmology, not just for detection, but for translation, for revealing the hidden layers of data we've long overlooked or misunderstood. Voyager's signal may have carried similar content before, unnoticed among the static and decay of deep space noise. With each advance in machine learning and computational power, we open ourselves to layers of reality previously obscured. The revelation also reignited debates about the ethics of sending more probes beyond the solar system. If our instruments can be noticed, intercepted, or even responded to, then we are, in a sense, exposing our presence to the wider universe. Is this brave, naive, or necessary? No longer just an academic question, this has become a tangible consideration for spacefaring policy. For now, the image sent back through Voyager 1 remains under intense analysis. Several labs across the globe are attempting to replicate the AI's reconstruction process to see if variations or hidden layers exist beneath the surface pattern. Some have even proposed that the image might be a kind of Rosetta Stone, containing further information only accessible through specific algorithms or interpretive keys we haven't haven't yet discovered. It is unlikely that whoever or whatever sent the image expected a direct reply. The distances involved are staggering. Communication at the speed of light would take decades, if not centuries. But that may not have been the point. Perhaps the intent was merely to show that the silence of space is not empty, and that observation flows both ways. As scientists continue to pore over the data, refining AI models and cross-referencing with other cosmic anomalies, the sense of standing on the edge of something vast and unknowable is palpable. Voyager's latest transmission has shifted the narrative from wondering if we are alone to wondering what it means to be noticed. Whatever unfolds next, one truth now resonates with clarity. Humanity's reach into the stars has not gone unnoticed, and the echo we've long awaited may have finally returned, not in voice but in vision. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Voyager sending terrifying images back to Earth? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.